Many people want to know how to be the best leader for their dogs. I'm going to tell you some easy ways to start on the path of leadership, but first let's remember, why are we doing it? Remember that humans, we are the only animal that I know of that has evolved to have their groups, their families, their communities organized mainly on the basis of equality, friendship, and cooperation. It's a really beautiful system, and it's our system, and that's how we feel good, and that's how we want to do love. Dogs, however, have another system. Theirs is equally beautiful but completely different, and they organize their communities in this kind of vertical way. It's what I'd call a consensual hierarchy. All animals that live in groups that I know of organize their communities like this. They have a peaceful, beautiful system where everyone agrees on everyone's job and status. They all can act together like a fantastically efficient and peaceful group when they go hunting or defending the territory. And socially, everyone knows their place. It's very harmonious. There's no need for any arguments. They can share food, share the care of the young. They can do everything together really well according to this system, thanks to this system. If I know that human is like this, and it's utterly gorgeous, but dog is like this, then I may want to think twice about how I'm behaving with my dog, and I might want to be offering them a little bit more of this version of life because I know it's what's going to feel good for them. Of course, if you have a life like this with your dog and it's working fine, what's not to love? You don't even need this video. But if you've got behaviors with your dog that you would really rather be different, and particularly if you've got an anxious dog or a reactive dog, then it may be really helpful to pay attention to this and to stop doing this type of love for your dog. I'm going to be offering this version of love as much as I can for my dogs, because I want my dogs to feel safe, relaxed, to know that everything is fine, for everything to make sense for them in their world, and for them to be able to hand over responsibility to me, to trust that everything's great, that I clearly know what I'm doing. They are safe and they can look to me for guidance. It might be harder for me to do this because I'm more comfortable with the human version. Both are perfect, by the way, perfect version of harmonious community. Perfect version of harmonious community. It's just that they're ordered according to different principles. How do I do this for my dog? First of all, I'm going to get used to the idea and comfortable with the idea of leadership, because we so often think this is the only right way. This is what feels good to us. This is what is morally right, maybe politically right, maybe economically right, but this is kindness, this is love. All of those things are true, but this is love too. Actually, I'm going to forego my own needs to do the human system with my dog, and I'm going to try and do love like this. How am I going to explain to my dog that I am the kind, calm, confident, and competent in dog leader? I'm going to start by having a look at how they do it. Who goes on the higher ground has the higher status. So that means that if you are wanting to help your dog feel comfortable with this beautiful system of theirs, I would be paying attention to, does my dog go upstairs if I've got an upstairs? That's not going to help them feel safe. Do they go in my bedroom? That's very high status. That's the royal chamber. Now, if my dog is going up to the top of the castle, up the steps, I'm imagining, and then I'm inviting it up to the top of the castle, into the royal chamber, my bedroom, and then either guarding the door to my royal chamber, or even worse, coming up onto the raised platform in the royal chamber for the Queen and the King, asking my dog to be responsible and be on guard while I lie down and go to sleep at my most vulnerable, that is giving my dog a big job, a lot of responsibility. That can come with a whole load of anxiety, and I may not be wanting to inflict that upon my dog. So no bedroom, I would suggest. No upstairs. Definitely no bed. No sofa. Because everything's very literal in the dog world. Elevated surface, elevated status. Why would I do that to my dog when I know they're going to feel more comfortable with me having the elevated status and them being in the best position in the whole pack, which I call beloved bottom. A lot of people worry about their dog won't understand if they can't be in the bedroom, and they always goes upstairs. And my dog loves the sofa, and I love my dog being on the sofa, or I love my dog being in my bed. Yes, I completely get it. I would love those things too. At the end of the day, we're going to have to decide, is this all about my needs or my dog's needs? And we are going to have to live maybe with some discomfort if we're changing things that we really loved doing. And it's really an individual choice. But I can reassure you that your dog, as lovely as it is to come up on the sofa and have their tummy tickled, your dog is going to be fine about not doing it. They'll be relieved, actually. I do believe that. They're not going to be confused. They're not going to think you don't love them anymore. None of that's going to happen. It's going to be really easy for your dog to make those changes if you decide you want to make them. It's never easy for the human, though. You know, we can imagine all sorts of things about our poor dog, how it might be really not nice and not fair. That's because we're still seeing the world this way. Understandably, it can take a little while to see how much more relaxed our dog is when we do just that, make that simple change to do with all the levels. How much calmer my dog is, how much more relaxed my dog is, because it just feels right to them. So there we go. You've got step one of leadership there for you to implement. Then the other big thing, everyone, if you want to be the best leader for your dog, you've got to feel like it. You've got to believe that it's right to do leadership. You've got to believe and recognize that it is love. You've got to want to do it, and you've got to embody it and think it and be it and do it. So you can see a lot of it is not about us teaching our dog something. As usual, it's about me learning and taking on board something. I've got to get my head around it. Then I've got to start feeling it and being it and embodying that leadership, that love, which is leadership. Now, a leader is a very kind and very powerful thing. A leader is not worried. A leader is not fussing. A leader doesn't use loads of words. A leader doesn't do loads of actions. A leader is not full of stuff and doing stuff and talking stuff. A leader is very calm, very slow, of very few words, and of very few body movements. A leader stands with 2 feet apart. A leader is opposite their dog. A leader takes time and communicates clearly. So all of this stuff is about us. Think Clint Eastwood, if you know the spaghetti westerns, he was the coolest cowboy that hardly said a thing, hardly moved. You could just get those little eyes flicking across his squint, maybe a little cheroot. And it's worth watching those films because he's a great example of how less is more. I mean, this guy is so powerful, so charismatic, and hardly does a thing. We can take a leaf out of his book too. And the other thing I tell my clients is take a leaf out of the book of golden syrup or honey. Imagine a spoon of golden syrup or honey and how long it takes for it to drip off the spoon. Well, let's try moving that little. Let's try saying very few words, moving not very much at all, and moving very slowly. And we're already being the leader, because everything is very embodied in the dog world. And the third way to really help your dog understand that you are the kind, calm, confident, and relaxed, competent in dog leader is to give your dog lots of jobs, to take control of your dog 24 hours a day. You're asking your dog to go here, to go there, to do this, to do that. You're taking charge, and everything is much more regulated. And that's going to really help your dog understand, wow, Judy really knows what she's doing. Oh, I think I can just relax. Nice, eh? So give your dog jobs to do. Come, sit, stay. Lovely, long stays. Walk your dog on the lead. It's very, very, very beneficial for the relationship. Of course, it's lovely for your dog to have time off the lead, but the time on the lead with you, patrolling the territory with their leader, is just amazing for you both and for your relationship. Walking your dog on the lead, giving your dog lots of comes, sits and stays, those vital jobs are so important, so therapeutic. It's much more than asking your dog to come sit and stay. It's actually all about the relationship, all about the leadership, followership, all about listening and communicating together, and it's all about partnership. And it's a beautiful partnership that your dog can relax into and that you can both feel really great about. And you are communicating and you are spot on, in tune with your dog in a way that is very comforting for them. I know you can do it. And if you want to know more about the come, sit and stay and the lead, walk and the this and the that, everything I'm talking about here, I'm going to be making more videos about. So please subscribe and you'll get this information expanded on. And if you want my personal help, the link's below. And this is what I do, is I help people on this journey with their partnership for their dog.